Pause 3S. The story begins at the University of Chicago Medical Center, where our lives first intertwined with hardship. Mama was alone in the sterile, cold room, gripping the sides of the bed as she brought my sister and me into this world. The fluorescent lights above flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls, much like the uncertain future that awaited us. The nurses whispered among themselves, their hushed tones filled with pity and concern. Mama was a young woman, barely out of her teens, and already the weight of the world was on her shoulders. The doctor handed her first my sister, then me, wrapped in thin hospital-issue blankets. She looked down at us with a mixture of exhaustion and fierce determination, her eyes already brimming with the love that would be our anchor in the stormy years to come. In those first moments of life, we were introduced to a world that was less than welcoming. The medical bills would pile up, adding another layer to the financial struggles that Mama faced. But in that small, sterile room, filled with the beeping of machines and the sterile smell of antiseptic, we were a family. A family that, despite the odds, would fight to stay together. From those first cries in the hospital to the silent screams in our apartment, our journey was marked by struggle and resilience. And it all started here, in this medical center where we took our first breaths, unaware of the battles that lay ahead.
The air in our apartment was thick, heavy with unspoken words and the smell of Mama's burnt rice. Our little two-bedroom apartment, tucked away in the Southside of Chicago, felt more like a cage than a home. The paint on the walls was peeling, revealing layers of neglect, just like the secrets hidden beneath our family's forced smiles. I shared a room with Tamika, my little sister, her laughter the only bright spot in our world. Mama, she worked double shifts at the diner, her face etched with worry lines deeper than the cracks in our walls. She was trying, always trying to keep us afloat in a sea of struggle. But some nights, the weight of it all became too much. The silence would break, her sobs muffled by the worn-out pillow. Those nights, I would hold Tamika tight, her small body trembling against mine. We didn't talk about it, but we both knew the truth that lingered in the air, heavy and suffocating. We were alone, adrift in a world that had already taken too much from us. And the worst part, it was my fault. All my fault. 3 years ago, the world shattered. The image is seared into my brain, a horrifying film on repeat. The flashing red and blue lights, the yellow tape, a stark barrier against the horrors it contained, and my father, lying lifeless on the cold pavement, his blood staining the concrete a gruesome red. I was 10, Tamika just 7. We were supposed to meet him at the corner store, candy bars and laughter promised, but the laughter died in my throat the moment I saw him, his eyes forever closed. The memory still haunts my dreams, the echo of the gunshot forever ringing in my ears. The raw terror, the gut-wrenching realization that our protector, our hero, was gone. That night, the weight of the world settled onto my shoulders, heavy and suffocating. I made a silent vow, standing over my father's grave, tears blurring my vision. I would protect Tamika, no matter the cost. She was all I had left, and I would be her shield against the harsh realities of our world. Every morning we walked the same route to school, past the boarded-up buildings, their empty windows like vacant eyes staring back at us. Past the groups of older boys huddled on street corners, their eyes cold and calculating. Every step is a negotiation, a silent prayer whispered under my breath. The streets of Southside Chicago, they hum with a different kind of energy. Danger lurks around every corner, whispering promises of despair and destruction. You can feel it in the air, taste it on your tongue. It's the fear that clings to you like a second skin, the knowledge that survival is a privilege not everyone is granted. But amidst the shadows, there are flickers of hope.
Miss Johnson's warm smile as she welcomes us into her third-grade classroom. The sound of my laughter as I chase butterflies in the park, oblivious to the darkness that surrounds us.
These small moments, they are our lifelines, reminding us that even in the depths of despair, beauty can bloom. School is supposed to be a sanctuary, a place of learning and growth. But for us, it's just another battleground in the concrete jungle we call home. The hallways are filled with the same tension that permeates our neighborhood, the threat of violence always simmering beneath the surface. We stick to ourselves at Tamika and I, our silence a shield against the chaos that surrounds us. We've learned the hard way that trust is a luxury we can't afford.
But even within the walls of our dilapidated school, there are glimpses of hope. Miss Thompson, our English teacher, she sees something in us, a spark hidden beneath layers of pain and resilience. She encourages my love for poetry, my words painting vivid pictures of a world beyond our concrete confines.
And for a brief moment, I allow myself to dream, to imagine a future where Tamika's words can take her far away from this place.